So what have you kind of seen on film from that IU defense?
They're very multiple IU. They do a lot of different things. They're going to throw different coverages, different blitz. They're going to be aggressive. They're going to get up in your face and guard you and try to run with you. I think they're an athletic defense. I think they play hard, and evidenced by last week. They haven't packed it in. They're playing hard, and they're trying to go out there and prove that they can win. So, we have a test in front of us, rivalry game. So everyone's going to be going hard.
Just dealing with the wind that you guys have had to deal with the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, you played in conditions like that throughout your career, but now being able to try to call a game with going into the wind or against wind, how challenging has that been the last 3 weeks?
Yeah, the wind, definitely the Iowa game was the most windy, and I would say Northwestern was probably behind it than Illinois. So 3 games that had some wind, differing miles per hour, differing which direction. This past game, it kind of switched directions at halftime. But yeah, it makes it a little bit more difficult, especially when you want to throw the ball. And our strength is being precise in the passing game, and it makes it harder to do that. So you need to be able to run the football. Sometimes in the wind, some of those you want some guys to be a little bit more open, right? So you can kind of have a little room for error when you throw the ball down the field. So there were 3 throws I think this past game that I think Aiden normally makes that didn't make, whether it was the wind or not. I'm not sure. But I think this past game we played a little more close to the vest. We ran the ball a little bit more, trying to learn from the one versus Iowa, and tried to lean on the running game a little bit. Obviously, the defense helped out quite a bit as well.
But it's not like something you can practice. You can't practice.
We've actually had a lot of elements leading up to last week's game.
Right.
We didn't have wind, so we had a wet day. We had a snow day, but we did not have a really windy day to practice in. Really, the windiest days have been the 2 games.
Right.
Well, what was the thought bringing in Austin Burton? Was that pre-designed, or was that just spur of the moment?
Yeah, we always have a little package ready to go for the other quarterbacks, as far as typically going to be moving the pocket or some type of zone read type of package where we can try to get an extra hat in the run game. And that was just, we liked that play that week. There were a couple more that we liked we didn't get to. But there's always a little package available for those guys.
Just not having Gus on the offensive line, how much does that change what you guys want to do offensively?
Well, yeah, Gus is huge. I mean, he's been really good this year. He's been really good his career here. He's a big-time center. Does a great job making the calls, and he's obviously been really good blocking. So his leadership, his steady hand, his guidance up front will be missed. Josh Kaltenberger has some big shoes to step into, and he's preparing, going to be ready to take that spot. And some other guys are going to have to help pick up some of the slack up front. And, we just got to adjust and go from there. But yeah, Gus, he's hard to replace. I mean, he's one of the best players on the team.
How would you assess Aiden's final season?
I think Aiden's had a good season. I think he's made a lot of plays we're used to seeing him make in the passing game. We maybe haven't got the ball downfield quite as much this year as in past, but it's based upon the personnel and the team that you have around you. I think he's been really good at adjusting to who he's with, whoever that is. As you see, even in the bowl game last year, we had their top 2 receivers go out. You got to adjust and know how to play with who you're playing with. So I think he's done a really good job of doing that. He's made some tremendous fourth quarter comebacks throughout his career, but this year as well. Some of them have led to victories, and some of them the other team came back and ended up winning at the end. But he still had those fourth quarter comebacks. So always been super clutch. He's I think he's what a Boilermaker is supposed to be. He's a great example for his teammates, great example for the younger quarterbacks in the room, and he's an example for any young player out there, looking to have success in the game of football.
What has Charlie Jones meant to this offense, and did you know exactly what you were getting when Charlie Jones showed up?
Charlie's been better than what we expected.
Yeah.
When we initially took him, he's been really good in the passing game. Obviously, he didn't have that great connection. He's been able to learn rather quickly. Our offense is quite complex, and for him to come in really just in the summer and try to pick it up and get all the nuances, and even he's been a little bit limited with practice and with injuries. So it's been impressive to see him be able to go out and accomplish what he has. Definitely grateful that we got him here, and he's been huge for our team this season.
When the season comes to an end, what do you hope that Brady Allen, I guess, took away from this first year of college football?
Yeah, I think Brady being his first season, just taking it all in, seeing how Aiden operates, how he goes about his business on a weekly basis, what it takes to play at a high level in this offense and in the Big Ten. That's a big adjustment for any young guy coming in. So I think it's good that he's been able to sit back and watch, and he's been able to every day go against our first team defense and try to make throws and see what he can get, what he can make, what he can't make, feel the pocket around him, and try to throw with guys in his face. So I think it should be a great learning experience for him going into the spring, trying to compete, for the position. Just any young quarterback, I think that first year is a big adjustment. And so he's had the spring, he's had the summer, and now he's had the fall. So get him adjusted, and we can really see what he's got this spring.
Over the last few weeks, we've seen a lot of 15-yard penalties, unsportsmanlike conduct, things like that. Have you been talking to the guys about playing between the whistle and kind of honing in their instincts?
Yeah, that's been a big point of emphasis this season. Is that obviously since the beginning of the year with the Syracuse game getting a little bit out of hand, we've been harping on it, trying to keep it out of practice. There's a balance you try to keep as a coach, keeping practice light and fun, but then these things you cannot do. So if you do it in practice, it could carry over. So you don't want to have no fun out there, but you want to make sure guys aren't doing things that are going to get you penalties, and knowing what those are and how to be smart about it. So it's a constant conversation. Definitely something obviously we need to be better at for sure.